For anyone who isn't familiar with the concept, a recursive translation is when something is taken from one language, translated to at least one more, and then converted back to the source language. The results can be quite interesting. Anyway, let's go.
Beginning. William, a Proto-Man and 6 Master Robots attack the airport, and Rockman asks for help. Rockman is badly injured while the safety of the Galilee is at stake. The light was turned on when Rock and Roll was born, and when Rock was rebuilt in Mega Man. Rockman is hired to fight Willis again with Lulu. Electrical Nightmare. Willie created a device that controls all email devices and allows robots to be sent out and placed in webs across the city. Then the madness begins. Mega Pinocchio. After rescuing an interesting scientist named Dr. Petto offered Rockman the opportunity to become a real man. The idea is popular, but Rockman had to settle for PhD. Peter accepts the offer. Little does he know that the Mega Dr. Pat is actually a doctor. Willie is created. In retirement, he sticks a mental tip in Rockman's head and uses it for dirty work. And there's nothing Rockman can resist his commands. Big Upheaval. A major earthquake shook New York and Rockman overtook it. It contaminates the guts of nearby people and people while trying to keep innocent people from harm. Rockman quickly plays with 2 people, but he never realizes Rockman's hunter is moving. When it came to Dr. Willie's earthquake, Willie hints at using a machine capable of generating random movements. Trick takes Rockman's research techniques one step further and plans his next move in Dr. Wright's lab. Robosaurus Park. A new theme park called Robosaurus Park and Doctor has opened. The light helped create what was essentially a dinosaur, but with easy access to the robot, he deftly bypassed the twisted operator to patrol the park and reprogram the dinosaurs. Then, Willie makes the robot a prime target too late, and Megman, Roll, and Raj take over. If the drug isn't released soon, Mega Man will become Mega Caveman. Rockman Moon. Willie and her robot take over the space shuttle and engineer it to stop at the space station where the solar lenses are stored. Using the lens for dangerous purposes is lethal. Rockman plays a role, but the situation worsens when the shuttle pilot's daughter gets caught in the middle of the bomb on the station, crashing into space and mega breathing, a new and cunning deadly weapon. 20,000 leaks on the seabed. Dr. Willie and her robot attack the rabbit mines underwater, but Rockman barely managed to save them. Eugene Fister accepting the award. LG with a new laboratory. Wright and Roll admire the new location. Rockman thinks it's too good to be true, and that's it. The new lab is actually a moving vehicle designed by heroes to destroy the deep sea. But the savior comes in the form of an octopus? Rockman shrinks beautifully. Dr. Willie sends a robot to steal rare and powerful gems. Using these gems as a weapon, no matter the size, can really cut things down. While trying to stop the museum heist, Rockman finds himself and achieves targets within that initial count, and hasten to recovery. It was later discovered that Willie was using a new armed weapon to shrink the entire town and sell it to criminals. Dr. Light sends Roll to Mega Man and Head to help find this mission and prevent it from going under. Bot transmission. Dr. Wright, Rockman, Roll, Head fly to the meetings and the robots Willie operates on the plane. When Rockman and Roll chase them into the plane's luggage compartment, they get away without a trace. However, they discover a large, unknown camera built nearby and take it for the operation. Rockman was disappointed late tonight at meeting old friend Dr. Wright and was trapped in Willie and Proto-Man's identity space. After the sinking, Rockman's essence becomes the human body and vice versa. Well, it's not just the Doctor. There's a Rockman at Willie's side, but the real Rockman has to convince his family that Snake Man isn't that bad. Ice Age. Dr. Willie steals additional boost technology from Sony's cooling group to freeze ice and mega cities. The plan is to take control of leaders from different countries and replace them with their own robots. Still, things are smart, even if I get the impression that Iceman has been sidelined in favor of Airman, and even if Dr. Cold Steel. At the science fair, Rockman and Roll meet Mary, a hearing-impaired girl with severe sensory fluctuations. It makes such an impression that Roll is encouraging her mothers and daughters to attend concerts later today. Then everything goes wrong. In the show, all contestants start creating flies like zombies. It really is a medical profession. Willie has created music that intrigues people to offer to her. Meanwhile, Dr. Feel, free to roll up the desired concert songs on the CDs and hand the CD over to Cold Steel. Little Roll knew that Perry's music was really cool and mesmerized everyone. Light was hypnotized too. The only untouched human music is the dance, which helps Rockman and Roll. Future Impact. Dr. Wright created a temporary device, but Dr. Willie found out about it, searched his lab, and made plans for himself. Rockman stopped Willie's robot and decided to destroy it because it wasn't as smart as a time machine. Rockman squeezes the light into the engine and turns it off for a minute, or whatever he thinks, to avoid getting hurt in battle. But when the time machine returns, there is no light. Light falls from the engine before it takes a path it doesn't know, and Rockman and Roche jump into the future in search of Dr. Phil. It's bright, and 30 years later, Rockman hasn't existed for years. So around the world, Dr. Willie, Dr. LG is looking for a wily time machine robot. New Rockman roll free and Grandma Dr. Phil, the light in a dangerous prison, and find a way to return to the past with the exclusive help of the girl and her aunt. Dr. Willie's Island. On a deserted island, Willie removes her latest designs, including creating an entire stone creature. But something goes wrong and the machine uses it to relax. Rockman finds himself in the midst of a riot with Dr. Roll. Orr and Roche investigate. The situation has become very difficult. Dr. Willie meets Rockman and expands to him on the island, taking her before those rocks reach her. But the doctor can't. Willie and his robot trust him? Is there something that looks like this? Avgarch confrontation. Doctor near Red Garch, a Wild West themed town. Willie discovers the meteor crystal that looks like a super powerful robot that produces normal robots. However, crystals also have an unexpected effect on robots that use these random upload cycles after about Rockman's dangerous work. Or is it? Fear of the 7 days. The episode begins with a doctor. Willie and his men board a robotic submarine monster and prepare to engage in a naval battle. Driver on Dr. Light's lab crusaders. Mega Man and Roll use radar to track a battle in hopes of finding a ship responsible that has recently been hijacked. Hours after this observation, Dr. Whale Large, the radar and Light notices that its song doesn't sound normal. Rockman decides to test it directly, and Doctor lit it up with the new super turbine power, marine suit, submarine protection gear. The ship's illusory surface emits a bolt of fog before sending the attacking bot into battle, and defeats Bomb Man. Dr. Willie informs Rockman that he planned a torpedo to destroy the battle and was forced to abandon the submarine. The fraud manages to steal the battle, and the sailors are rescued by the lightship D. After Rockman, Roll and Rosh decide to take their team and face another fight from the inside out. They rush to the banquet. A distress signal and the lifeboat is released. There are 4 of them, one of whom claims his ship was stolen by a robot. At night, people get rid of the gliders. The robots call themselves Dr. Willie, and they actually show it. They man the ship, go up and taxi, catch the missiles, and Rockman, who is arrested by the police doctor, contacts Rockman Wright and sends Eddie to charge. After accumulating energy, the missile reaches the ship before sunset, but he and Waddy are hit by a collision and crash into the sea. Luckily, Rosh was able to get sick and save him. According to the doctor, the canoe was put in a canoe with the army staff to recruit a light robot, but the cylinder is missing. The next day, when Megman and Roche, looking for Galilee, discover the SOS messages and go to her house, Dr. Willie finds out another ship has been stolen. Doctor, big dreams. Dr. Willie has developed a machine that can attack people's hearts while they sleep. He sends Catman and Gotsman to collect confidential information from the mayor and police chief. The true doctor's advice, but Rockman interferes. Robo Spider. Dr. Wright has developed a computerized defense specifically designed to combat his power. Willie took down the big shield, but a doctor. Willie creates something for the doctor. Computer lights, a giant mechanical spider container. It allows you to send an electronic connection. Robo Spider. This connector draws power from the mains and adds everything to its power supply. When the Robo Spider reaches its full potential, Doctor Light can destroy supercomputers. Rockman, Roll, and Head run away from Robo Spider. Hikari tries to prevent this problem from destroying the Black Nation and supercomputers. A bad teacher. During the expedition, Dr. Professor Wright, who specializes in ancient history, studies the mysterious writings in the cave. This once indicates that the evil character was once named Lotus. Knowing this, Dr. Willie, a Lotus box buried in a lost and defenseless city. Rockman and Roll offered a little magical genius, known to give life to a tree. Willie drags Lotus with him and wins with help from New York. This is without a doubt one of Mega's most serious and amazing fights. The night of a living monster bot. In the old Anglican town, the hypocritical truck driver has his heart broken when the mummy behind the truck comes back to life. But this is no ordinary mummy, it's Mummy Bot! Rockman and company come to town to research this and met up with famous film actress Evelyn Ray to interview the director of the latest film. Dr. Willie doesn't know exactly who the director is. His goal is to document the destruction caused by the new terrifying robot and activate the movie to scare people. The situation is made worse when Hollywood actresses are vampires and Dr. Phil. The light changes as he becomes a werewolf. All this to get rid of the doctor, Willie's greatest robot ever. Read. The Curse of a Lion. Robot and Comet Dr. Willie are sent to confirm the crash site. They accidentally encounter a group of human lions who move to turn other humans into lions. When Rockman joins them in battle, the situation is already worse than the doctor. Then after the robot doctor after hitting on Willie, he took Roll, Turlight, and Dr. Willie becomes a lion. Reprograms Willie with his radio, and reprograms Rawls, Protoman, and Robot Masters. It's Rockman and Lucy alone in this fight. Monday in the fall. Dr. Willie Tachyon steals the capacitor and uses the latest inventions to bring the moon closer to the Earth's surface. It occurs with a range of storms such as hurricanes, earthquakes, torrential rains, and heavy waves. Long before Protoman, Rockman and Roll were created, and now Rockman must recover before the whole world gets sick from the doctor. Must be. Willie is ruined. Lawyer. Command campus. On the campus of Dr. at Darling University, we develop robots so they can acquire useful skills, and they also help him get his latest job called Gravity Against Gravity. Doctor in new works for his crimes, and by subjecting all his students to slavery. Only Rockman, Roll, and a few other robo students escaped, and now they must go to college with Willie before it's too late to retire. BrainBot. Dr. Darling is the creator of a super robot called Super BrainBot. BrainBot has an umbrella for ringing, testing, and fixing things, but that's not a bad thing in the first place. Unfortunately for Rockman, Roll, and Head, Willie personally sent them to California. To make matters worse, they are rescued by bodyguard Dr. Rockman, is able to fend off the Willie robot, but BrainBot is still caught. Now Megman has this incredibly new, but terribly annoying friend from the doctor. Willie must save her brain before a crazy cybercriminal can use her brain with a robot. Elections are on Saturday. Robot Willie attacked during Butler Mitchell's parade. As Rockman goes into battle, Protoman turns his countrymen into evil humans, joining his brother and aiding him in battle. Mega is great, but everyone opens their arms to get Protoman. It might not look like it's finished yet, but it's another sophisticated doctor's plan. Will's Protoman's real goal was to clothe his brother's wife in a flea, replace the serving council and state officials, replace the servant, and then the state's dual robots officials, is to replace it. Divorced. When Protoman inserts a crack in his brother, Rockman reveals a serious secret Protoman is giving away. This might be Rockman's toughest challenge, physically or emotionally, to date. Bad day at Danger Park. A boy named Bobby runs away from a group of robots trying to kidnap him. However, these robots are not normal. These are the humans who have actually become robots. After Rockman rescues him, Bobby tells him that something strange is going to happen at the new toy park, Fan World. The garden owner is really a doctor. Willie catches up with people and hypnotizes them as if they were robots. Rockman Roll Head Doctor. The light goes through the park and the robot meets Master Willie along the way, but Rockman won't stop them from shutting down Willie's dangerous theme parks. Mega X. Doctor found a way to produce masses of rare metals known as light, Low, and Spark Mandrill, which appeared before Hunter, the heir to Mega Man. It also comes with Future Quest Vial and Spark Mandrill. Crime of the Century. Dr. Willie Robot is sent to a new student army, Toys. With the help of Willie's new invention, the club is hosted in a rustic toy that takes out the coding product to fulfill all of its rules. As Mr. Willie reprograms, the crime begins, and he finally plans to use these toys to steal large black bees. The only problem is that the older Rockman is being assigned by the doctor. Lights, rolls, noise. Black Pearl personally protects and ensures your privacy when you move from New York to the Cooper building. Nevertheless, he cleverly uses a toy cowboy as a scout to identify Black Pearl junk and send it behind the robot and train. Now they have hero bees to protect and show off those toys.
It's all the same thing. Thank you for the registration question.